Of the year, it can be difficult to put together a full week of school due to inclement weather. Snow, low temperatures, flooding have already closed schools this year, and we still have a long way to go before spring. So here to share what goes into making these decisions on when school is closed, we have Dr. Ashley Stevens from Cabell County Schools. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
So what are some of the most common reasons that schools get closed?
Temperature and road conditions. We have to consider both. Is it safe for our students to be out in terms of, you know, the weather they're going to be standing in, and then can we get them anywhere once they are outside?
That makes sense. So what does the decision-making process look like when you all decide school is closed, or maybe it's a delay instead?
Absolutely. So our goal is to have school every day. If we can safely have school, that's what we want to do always. But we have to make sure, you know, that we're looking at all of the data available to us. And so that might include sitting in on calls with the National Weather Service. It may involve talking to 911 and our road municipalities. Sometimes they have some insight for us. If we don't have enough information in the evening before, then our team is out running roads at, you know, 4:30 in the morning to kind of assess the situation as it stands. And we've even been known to call the office down here. We call in and say, all right, guys, we're getting conflicting information. Help us, you know, paint this picture of what we can anticipate.
That's right. I know you all often talk to our meteorologists here too. So in addition to getting kids to school, what are some of the other concerns you all have to consider?
Is getting them home. Sometimes we think about, like, oh my gosh, it looks fine out here right now. What's going on? But a lot can change in 8 hours. And so we're looking at, will the roads be safe in terms of snow or ice? Do we have any flash flooding concerns that you know that we need to take into account? Those things can happen very, very quickly. And the last thing we want is for us to be able to have a safe day of school, but for our students not to be able to get home safely at the end.
And I know something, I remember when my kids were in school, sometimes you look out and you think, well, the weather looks fine. Why are they on a delay, or why did they cancel today? I mean, what do you say to parents when you get that?
It happens. And the issue is that Cabell County, we're very fortunate that there is so much diversity here. And so we have places where the weather can be very different because it's a big geographic region, and also the same weather can have different impacts. So if you're in town where a snowplow can get to you very quickly, it may look very, very different than if you're on you know, a more rural road that won't see a snowplow for 2 or 3 days.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so which days will need to get made up? How does that work?
So in terms of our options of, you know, what codes to call, we can do a delay, which does not need to be made up. We can do a non-traditional instructional day, which also does not need to be made up because it's a day of instruction, so we're very grateful for those. We only get 5 per year, and we've already used them. So we love an NTID, but that ship has sailed for us this year. So codes red and blue are the days that need to be made up. On a code red, some of our staff will come in for some different, you know, operational things that need to happen even when students aren't here. And code blue happens if it's just too bad for anybody to be out, and we need to, you know, shut down and try another day.
Okay, so if you do have to cancel or delay school, how do families get notified?
Well, you guys are really great to help us get the information out, so we're super grateful for that. It will also be shared through a call, a text, and an email from my team. It will be on our social media, and then the West Virginia Department of Education has this map that you can see that kind of gives updates for everybody, and we share it with our other media outlets. So we try to cover the spread and make sure everybody who's looking can find the information they're looking for so that they can make plans accordingly.
Yeah, well, this is helpful because I know a lot of us probably think, oh, they just, I don't know how they decide. Now we have found out.
It's not rolling dice. It's not a magic 8-ball. There's a lot of effort that goes into it, and we may not get it right every time, but we always try to err on the side of what is safe for our students.
Got to keep them safe. All right, Dr. Stevens, thanks so much for stopping by and sharing this with us.
Thank you for having me.